That 0818 96 96 96. We have talked many times about apprenticeships on this show. There are many traditional apprenticeships: plumbing, carpentry, electrical, all those things, and they're a way to get yourself into a very lucrative career. You might not get very well paid at the start for a plasterer or a plumber or whatever, but when you get your apprenticeship finished, you've got a set of skills that you can take all over the world, and you can get very well paid for it and start your own business and all of that. But did you ever hear of apprenticeships in the tech industry? First one on me, Jessica McKeown, is the Senior Tech Apprenticeship Officer in FIT. And FIT stands for Fastrack into Information Technology. Jessica, this sounds like an idea someone should have had 20 years ago. Good morning.
Jay, lovely to be on this show this morning. Yes, I agree with you. Tech apprenticeships are definitely something that should have been around quite a while ago. I'll give you a little bit of, I suppose, background on FIT. So FIT are the National Coordinator of Tech Apprenticeships in Ireland. We were set up, we're a not-for-profit organisation set up in 1999. So we've over 26 years experience working within the tech sector. So we have apprenticeships in computer networking, software development, cybersecurity, and we also have an apprenticeship coming on board hopefully around the autumn time of this year, and that will be in data analytics. So these are hugely sought after careers within the tech sector, and they're two-year apprenticeship programs. Right. So they're we actually were in Cork last week at the Tech Fest, the Tech Industry Alliance. We're hosting that in Rochestown. Huge interest in obviously technology is everywhere. There's a huge amount of, I suppose there's a skills gap in terms of what's required within the tech sector, and that's where tech apprenticeships are hugely successful. We work with small to medium enterprises right up to the multinational companies, and everything in between. We've over 270 companies that hire tech apprentices at the moment. Right. The apprenticeships like that, they're a 2-year program. And they are for anybody with a curiosity and a passion for technology. So FIT is very much about the diversity and inclusivity. So it's very much about looking at tapping into the tech talent across the country, from anyone from the ages of 18 right up to 45, 50, kind of that age group, mainly between the ages of 25 to 35. Yeah. We have career changers. We have people straight in from school, and we have some people who have a background possibly in software development, maybe want to move into cybersecurity, and it's a great opportunity for them to be able to, I suppose, work with companies and learn through doing. So yeah. I suppose with apprenticeships like the traditional apprenticeships, like for example carpentry, it's that experience where they do 30% of the time they're in education, the other 70% of the time they're with the employer. Right. So I think particularly in the way the landscape is within the tech sector now, things change and evolve so very quickly, particularly with AI and all of that. And I think with the apprenticeships, they're with the employer 70% of the time. Yeah. So within that time, the employer can, adapt their role to suit the needs of the business, whilst also working, through their if it's cybersecurity that they're learning as in real time.
I'm thinking in terms of 2 or 3 different groups of people. One would be the student coming out of secondary school, maybe sitting down in a week or two's time now to do the Leaving Cert. Would love to get into something like this, but aren't particularly academic, are not going to get extraordinarily high points, but would love to get into it. There's an opening for them. I'm also thinking of someone
absolutely
who's been in a career for a while, and they might be in their late 20s, their early 30s, shall we say, and thinking, you know what, I'd like to try something else, but I'm fascinated by technology, but I've no qualifications.
Yeah, and I suppose that's the purpose of the apprenticeships as well. It's to look at those people who prefer to learn by doing.
Yeah.
Not everyone is hugely academic. Now there is an academic part of it. There's 30% of it that's run through the ETBs, but primarily it is the learning by doing, which suits a huge amount of people. Which means that we're opening up that tech talent pipeline. So really, to go back to your anyone from school can apply. They do have to be over 18. There are eligibility criteria. I should mention that with what we have to offer, there is no cost involved.
Oh.
So there's no cost whatsoever. So for a candidate for a young person out of school or someone that's changing, what they do is they can apply through our website with an application form and with their CV. We do an aptitude test with them. We do an interview with them, and the whole aim is to prepare them. If we think that you're not ready to meet the employers, you're just not at that stage yet, we don't close the door on anybody. What we do at that stage is we put them on different programs. So we have a lot of different platforms and programs within FIT that have been provided by some of the multinational companies. Again, it's all around creating that diversity and inclusivity within the tech sector, whether that's females, whether that's young people, career changers, people with neurodiversity. We run a massive amount of initiatives to build out that pipeline.
I'm also thinking of other people who have been doing jobs for quite some time, and they're a bit nervous because of the advancement of AI. I was only looking at a video last night of it's probably an exaggerated case, but a guy who spends his day examining scans in a radiography lab, and now AI can do it. And he's worried about his job. No, that's probably exaggerated for the sake of the post. But there are people who are frightened for the future of their jobs because of AI. You could provide them with a second chance.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm really glad that you touched on that point, because the apprenticeships are for people coming in as in candidates. So we hold a candidate pipeline. So an employer comes to us and they say, we're looking for 3 software developers, or we're looking for 3 cybersecurity apprenticeships, or whatever they are. But we also use it as an upskilling initiative. So we work with the public service, we work with the county councils, we work with a number of departments, as well as the private sector. And it is used as an upskilling initiative. So more and more we are getting employers coming to us and saying, we're looking to upskill staff who have shown an interest in particular areas that we require. So it can be used for that as well. And it is about securing jobs for people, especially if you've people within your organisation who are loyal and trustworthy and hardworking and all of those things. You want to be able to retain them, that you're not, necessarily having to rehire. Instead, you can upskill them through the apprenticeship programs. And that seems to be really successful as well. So there's lots of, we're very open to making it work for anyone who really has that curiosity, that passion for technology. We're there to support them. And then we're there to obviously build out that tech talent pipeline. Our main, I suppose, objective is we have a lot of companies across the country, particularly, as you can imagine, there's a lot in Dublin. We are very keen to build out in Cork. It is a tech hub. There's lots of possibilities within the area. We do have a computer networking course that we're starting this year in September. So we're really excited about that. But we also have remote courses. So they're delivered through the ETB. The candidates have to do 5 in-person days across the 2 years, but it means that it opens it out nationwide. Okay. So it does mean that if you're in Cork and you're looking for cybersecurity or you're looking for software development, there is that potential. Okay. We also run an iFit. And iFit is to encourage females back into the workforce. The whole purpose of this is it's a female-only software development apprenticeship. So it's exactly the same as the other apprenticeships, but it's just for females. And again, there is a huge cohort of females who are highly competent, highly capable, and just need that little bit of a step, and then they, then they take off. So it's just to encourage them to consider. We very much want to get that gender balance within the tech sector as well. So there's huge amount of initiatives, there's huge amount of potential, and there's a huge interest from financial services to telecommunications to your technology. It's to manufacturing. Technology is everywhere, so there's huge scope for this.
I know. I think this is a super idea. I think and you get paid while you're training, and there's a pathway to employment. I think it's fantastic.
Absolutely.
It really is a great idea. And the best of luck with it. Jessica McKeown is Senior Tech Apprenticeship Officer in FIT, Fastrack into Information Technology. If you know anybody who's doing exams at the moment and nervous about what they might want to do, or if you're in a job, but you might feel you need to pivot a bit, change a bit, upskill a little bit technically, get in touch with them. FIT, Fastrack into Information Technology. You can be an apprentice cybersecurity expert. You can be an apprentice network engineer. You can be anything you see in tech. You can be an apprentice in it now. 0818 96 96